Go for it. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of The Build. My name's Cody Groom, and today we have an E36 M3. One of my favorite M cars. After owning an E92 and the E36 and a variety of other BMWs, Supra, the E36 is one of those cars that stands out to me. It's one of those ones that just, it holds a place. Like, there's a certain thing about it, the way it drives, the way it sounds. This one may not sound quite like a BMW, which is kind of ironic because Toyota BMW. We'll leave that alone. But this one right here, 1,200 horsepower, a lot of just beautiful modifications that enhance both the driving experience and the looks. But let's jump into it.
Shadows in the sky, footsteps in the night behind me. Goodbye.
I was on Craigslist one day and I saw it and I'm like, holy crap, this thing's insane. And I just forgot about it. And then like 2 months go by and he lowers the price. And then 2 weeks go by, he lowers again another 10 grand. And I'm like, this is starting to sound like pretty good deal. So I talked to my brother, he's a big car guy too, and texted a bunch of my friends. I'm like, hey, how crazy would it be if I got this thing? And they're like, dude, you're an idiot, don't do it. I called the guy just to see, hey, what kind of guy this is. Dude, we became friends. He told me everything about the build. Me and my brother, he was my support, and we went in on this, man.
All right, so if you've owned an E36, the first thing that you notice when you sit in the car is the smell. E36, E46, they have a certain smell. And that was the first thing that brought me immediately back. Along with, to be honest, there's a couple little things I'm noticing in here that are similar to the one I had, but it's just that little thing about the E36, the little smell. Even the steering wheel. So I actually had a very similar steering wheel, same brand, everything. It wasn't a dish like this one is, but it was very similar. And sitting in here brings me right back. It's cool that he's kept a little more of the interior. Now there are some pieces, stuff like the gauges right here that are a little different, the Haltech gauges. He's got these gauges down here that are obviously not stock. But yeah, and then that classic E36 key. He's even got one with, look at this. He's got, not to put him on blast, but he's got one with a yellow BMW logo. Estoral blue is already one of my favorite colors on this car, but the caveat here is that this is a matte clear on it. It's not a wrap, this is actually a matte paint job. So this is where I feel like this is gonna piss off a lot of E36 fans, is that there isn't the original S52 in this car. There's actually a 2JZ.
There's over 50 grand worth of parts in this car. The only thing that it doesn't have is 1,000 horsepower 2JZ. The entire interior has been restored. There's literally nothing I could complain about.
CP pistons, Manley rods, took it apart, had real street performance help out with the build, and then everything else is just Frankenstein parts. Viper T56 transmission.
2Js, LSs, those really are among some of the only engines that can make that kind of power and make it, dare I say, reliable. Spent time to make sure that like every little thing that he was doing was a methodically planned out thing for his particular purpose.
That's the dyno that we did actually today, this morning. Still have some tuning to do. We're probably gonna add a little bit more boost and pull some fuel up top.
The main purpose of this build was to set the world record for BMW chassis for half mile. Set a world record for 186.8 in the half mile, and he wanted to get it to 200. And that day, I believe there was like 15 mile or 17 mile an hour crosswinds. So I think he could have gotten there. He did that record at the top of 4th gear, and there's still 2 more gears left.
Now, it's interesting because who buys a car like this? Who buys a car that's already built, already done to this caliber? You know, talking to Brian, you could tell that it was this thing where he's had his hands on different projects of just like restoration, of putting things back to new. You get to get a different part of it. Instead of just the building aspect, you now have the enjoying aspect, which I feel like maybe a lot of people never get to. If I'm calling you out, I'm sorry, but to buy something done, built this well, and just be able to enjoy it says something. The sheer speed of this thing had me giggling. You can hear it in the clip.
So as you can tell, there's a 4-inch dump straight from the turbo. It gets pretty loud under that passenger seat.
Dude, okay, hold on.
Still on the 91 tune, so map.
So what is that, 900 or something?
No, that's 700.
Dude.
Now it is geared for a half mile car. So it's not necessarily that fast from a dig, but it's one of those things. First gear is super long. And then from there, when you're getting into these higher RPMs, this thing just pulls and it is unbelievable.
So the Haltech 2500 Elite, we have it. There's 6 maps on the tuned on the car. You can control them with this dial right here. First one is the full 91 tune, makes about 700 wheel, and then that's around 20 psi. Second map is around 900 wheel, and that's E85. We have a flex fuel sensor, so I can change, keep an eye on the ethanol content on the whatever you pump, because not every E85 you get from a gas station has the same content for E85. So it'll tell you anything over 50% ethanol, you can use the ethanol maps. And then third one is around 1,000. Fourth one's about 1,100, and then you got the kill maps on the 11 and 12.
So, how do you feel? How do you feel after driving that for a second?
Just every time I get in it, man, it's just shaking. I love it, dude. It's just, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, and this is why I love cars, man. It's just, nothing can make you feel like this. Like, somebody built this.
Dude, it is so fast.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Like, that power band, too. I mean, first gear's long, and the gear ratio, it's crazy, but...
I'm not even touching 1,000.
Yeah, but that pull from, like... I don't know what we were going. We don't need to say speeds, obviously, but with that, when we were hitting, like, maybe 40, and then on, it was, like, the way the speed built after that was just ridiculous. It is insane.
It's more than transportation, man. It's a passion. It's a passion to have fun. It's a passion to learn. For me, I never cared about owning the Lambos and the Ferraris and the crazy exotics. Any real car guy would know, building something your own, driving something that's somebody built with their hands is something really cool. Like, no other species on this planet does what humans do. Having a break from the everyday life, getting in the car, going for a drive, it's something different.